29th, 12th. My dear brother Busara, once again your letter found me promptly. It seems to me that this method of correspondence is working out very well indeed, and I have you to thank for it. A wonderful idea. But I should not forget to credit little Graham for his part in the affair. I will, this time, as you suggest, send the second act. I have named him Kobe. I was most interested to hear your thoughts on the event and its possible causes. Much of your thinking is in line with my own, but before you take any real satisfaction from that fact, I should point out that, unlike you, I've never made a systematic study of the subject. Merely observations in my travels. I will, as you suggest, inform you of what I have seen and how it might pertain to your study. The first and most obvious point is that when looking at the ruins, it is evident that the surface of the land and water are different now than in the past. In some parts of the world, the land on which buildings once stood seems to be eroded away. Mostly, though, it is a case of buildings being buried or submerged. Of course, much natural decay has occurred, leading me to believe that the event was many hundreds of years ago. But the presence of so much material in varying levels of degradation suggests that the event cannot be as long as 1,000 years ago, probably some hundreds of years less than that. In different parts of the world, and even at different sites nearby, the rate of decay, erosion, and entropy varies. In some places, interiors and furnishings have been reduced to soil, while in others, a smattering of poorly preserved objects are scattered throughout. For the most part, useful finds are made by digging, or by exploring underground passageways and networks. There, the natural degradation caused by the air is reduced, and in fact, total submersion in water preserves some types of objects very well. There is certainly some evidence of fire after or during the event. At many sites, a layer of fine ash and soot can be observed underneath the layers of accumulated dirt, lichen, and moss. Likewise, many of the metal structures, where they have not rusted away to powder, show evidence of having been melted. Ceramic artifacts show evidence of exposure to extreme heat. I do not know if the conflagration was caused by the event itself, or whether instead it was part of the social collapse which must have followed. You have already mentioned your discovery of the errata manuscript, rare fragments of a diary describing the years after. Imagine if such a document was ever found intact. Still, even the glimpses you allude to sound utterly fascinating. I have seen evidence of activity after the event. Stockpiles of useful items carefully arranged and hidden in the ruins, and even the physical remains of an unfortunate family sheltering from who knows what. It is also clear, from observation of the ruins, that the event did not cause the collapse of every building which is ruined today. I have even seen a tall skyscraper almost entirely intact. Others have clearly collapsed recently. The degree to which they have been covered in soil and the age of the trees growing over them suggest a dating method. In the Kolriks, to my northeast, the people actually reinforce the ruins and live in them. So, to summarize, it is my belief that the water level was much lower during the age of the builders, and likewise, the surface of the land too has shifted since that time. I believe that whatever the event was, it was not responsible for the complete destruction of the cities of the builders, but that it contributed in part. I also believe that during or soon after the event, fires raged in many places, although why this should be, I do not know. I will leave you with those thoughts, but now I must go. I have visitors, a strange collection of travelers who arrived on a steamboat and saved the life of my reckless assistant. I am showing them hospitality and perhaps will persuade them to run an errand for me. I remain your friend and colleague, Professor Aliphangus Plage, Onyx Research Laboratory.